Most people look at a sander and just see a tool that makes a mess. But once you pick up this particular unit, you realize it is actually a piece of precision engineering. It is surprisingly light, weighing in at just over 2 pounds, which is a massive deal when you are working overhead or tackling a large tabletop for hours on end. You would expect something this compact to feel a bit flimsy, but it has that solid, dense quality that makes you feel like it could survive a drop off the workbench without a second thought. The real magic here is how it handles vibration. Usually, after a long session, your hands feel like they are still buzzing, but the internal control system on this thing keeps things remarkably steady. It is smooth, almost eerily so, which means you can focus on the finish rather than fighting the tool. Now, the 5mm stroke is the sweet spot for most woodworkers. It is aggressive enough to strip away material quickly when you are starting with a coarse grit, but it is refined enough that you are not left with deep swirl marks that take forever to sand out later. The motor is brushless, which is why it stays so consistent. Even when you lean into it a bit harder than you probably should, the speed does not bog down. It just keeps humming along at whatever pace you set with the dial. One detail that really stands out is the carbide-tipped pad brake. It is a small touch, but it stops the pad from spinning wildly the second you lift it off the surface, saving you from those accidental gouges that ruin a project right at the finish line. If there is a downside, it is the price tag. It is definitely an investment, and you are tied to a cord, which might annoy those who have gone fully cordless for everything else in the shop. You also have to be mindful of the proprietary pads, as they are not exactly cheap to replace. But honestly, when you consider the longevity and the sheer quality of the surface it leaves behind, it is hard to argue with the results. It is one of those rare tools that makes the most tedious part of woodworking feel a little less like a chore and a lot more like a craft. If you're tired of replacing cheaper sanders every year, this is the one that finally stops the cycle.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.